was just something about how beautiful and the tension like people got when they're on camera and how glamorous they looked. I grew up very poor, so I was like, I want to be part of that life. I want to go to those mansion parties. I want to ride in those cars. I want to sip champagne. I wanted dance lessons, and she did save up enough money to put me in taekwondo, which isn't what I wanted.
But first, a word from our sponsors.
I've told you about My One condoms and their 52 sizes. Now, I want to tell you about their newest innovation, One Flex. One Flex uses graphene to make ultra-thin condoms that increase body heat transfer for that true skin-on-skin feel. The only thing better than sex is flex sex. Use code MANWHORE at onecondoms.com for 20% off your purchase. That's ONE condoms.com, promo code MANWHORE. Beducated is the masterclass for all things sex. Get better in bed and feel more confident by clicking the link at the top of the show notes or use promo code MANWHORE at beducated.com. It's like educated, but with a B at the front, so you know how to tickle the B on the back.
Welcome to the Man-Whore Podcast.
What's up, all you fan whores? What's up, you whoreheads? Shout out to all the pod sluts out there. No shout outs to my New York Jets offense. Shame, shame, shame on you, I say, as I get home at 1 a.m. from the game. This is Billy Procida, and you are listening to the Man-Whore Podcast. Although I think I'm going to rebrand tonight as the Sad Whore Podcast. What the fuck did I just watch? Being at that Monday Night Football game felt like I was peeping on my girlfriend cheating on me, but also she wasn't even doing her best work. Like, if you can jiggle balls better than that, you know, like if you're going to cheat on me, do a good job. Why you got to break my heart like that, boys? But this is not a sports fan podcast. Don't click off just yet. This is a show where I host sex-positive conversations. This week on the podcast, I have got on one of the co-anchors of Naked News, Marina Valmont. I've got her and her bubbly personality coming on to you in just a little bit. We connected while she was in town for Exotica. I did a spot over at the Grizzly Pear down in the village, and after my spot, I'm walking back to the train, and I come across this other comic I see around town, and he's selling comedy tickets, and he's also talking to some guy I haven't seen before about open mics and giving him some recommendations. Turns out the guy is brand new to stand up, and we've been talking, and the new comic, he wanted to run a joke by me. And I'm not going to really like try to retell the joke because the joke wasn't really structured much like a joke. He was pretty much just kind of sharing how he tries to get out of eating his girlfriend's pussy. He barely got to tell me the joke because like as he was telling me it was so cringy that I just like he would say a sentence and then I would interrupt with, and so she should break up with you. Because I didn't think like he was making jokes. I think he was just trying to figure out a quote like a funny way to justify his lack of giving oral. And so then it quickly devolved into an actual conversation about how he's like, yeah, well, when it smells really bad or if it doesn't taste good. And I had to tell you like, dude, it's okay if you don't like pussy. Like maybe when dudes say they don't like going down on their women because they don't think it tastes good or they think it smells bad. One, you think our ball sacks are a ray of sunshine? You think it's flowers and chocolate down there? Yes, sometimes I'm thinking maybe a little bit of a rinse could be nice, but it's never so bad that like I don't want to do this. The way this man was describing pussy as, well, I don't really like the taste. I don't really like the smell. And I'm thinking, I don't think you enjoy vagina. I think you should consider some of the other options out there. And he said, no, but I like to be inside pussy. It's like, but well, of course, any penis likes to be inside somewhere warm and moist. Yes. He said, nah, man, I peck I can peck a girl on the mouth and I'm like, ooh, I'm instantly hard. I'm that straight. Dude, if you have to defend to me how straight you are, I just want you to know that, like, I support your right to marry whoever you love. And here is a free journal where I would like you to put your honest feelings. Again, maybe you just don't like it. Now, maybe you like femininity. Maybe you like someone who's female presenting. Maybe you like big tits. Maybe you like a feminine face and voice. But if you are trying to avoid pussy so much that you might be willing to fake a phone call from your dying grandmother as an excuse to get out of this oral occasion, it's okay if you don't like pussy. It's okay. I know there's some TikToks out there talking about hashtag super straight, but telling yourself you're super straight and kissing women on the mouth and enjoying a warm orifice does not a straight make. And also, who gives a fuck? Straight, what does that even mean anymore? I don't know. Is it important to be into the femininity? Is it important to be into the vagina? Is it important to please your parents? I don't know what straight means anymore. But I'm sure that guy is going to find himself at an open mic surrounded by a bunch of other dude comics who don't want to eat pussy, and they're all going to pretend to be straight together as they talk about how they hate women. I don't know. But I also recorded with this week's guest, Marina Valmont. We get into a slew of topics with Marina. We were talking about her background in beauty pageants, in exploring nudism, the swinger lifestyle, her bisexuality, and growing up poor. The pursuit of glamour, wanting something that she did not have growing up. Wow, I'm just starting to notice like how bad my voice is from yelling and screaming at a bad Jets game. But also just the idea of, like, you know, when you grow up poor and you see in the magazines and you see on TV and you see your friends at school have stuff you can't have. And so, like, when you're dreaming of what you want to be when you grow up, some people think of it in terms of a profession. They think, well, then I want to be a doctor. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a stockbroker. I want to be something that's going to make a lot of money so I don't live the life I lived growing up. But the other version of that can be what kind of Marina did. What she wanted to be when she grew up was glamorous by any means necessary. And so you're going to hear in the conversation, it starts with, well, that takes the form of beauty pageants and modeling, and then eventually takes the form of naked news, which is like this stable job where she gets to be really attractive. And now as her career progresses, she's adding, you know, porn star to the resume. Another version of being glamorous, making money, being gorgeous, and being able to afford a lifestyle she didn't have growing up. So that all started to really take interest to me. And I just found it, I found it curious that it started off as kind of like a tough, ooh, what are we going to do here conversation. And eventually, you know, we found some meat on the bone with Marina. So I hope you enjoy the conversation. Before I get there, real quick, let's do a fan whore appreciation moment. Okay, this is the part of the podcast where I like to give a shout out to some of the fan whores supporting the pod on Patreon. I want to say a big old thank you to Moss. I don't think you would have dropped nearly as many passes as Alan Lazard. For both that and your pledge to the show on Patreon, I thank you. I also want to say a shout out to Kent Wilson, which sounds like a really typical quarterback name. And it sounds like a quarterback who couldn't possibly be any worse than Zach Wilson. So I say put some pads on and let's see how you do with the Raiders, because I'm just this close to quitting Zach. I am what they might call a Zach Wilson apologist, but I am like so close to giving up and saying, let's just go find some guy who bags groceries named Kent Wilson, because it sounds like a quarterback name and he has the jawline of a quarterback, and why not? Surely he won't break my heart like my Jets did tonight. So Kent, for both your pledge and your theoretical ability to lead my boys to victories, I thank you. And you too can support the Man Whore podcast, receive a slew of great rewards, and maybe renew my faith in the New York Jets at patreon.com/manwhorepodcast. Or you can download the Patreon app and you can find me on there. Membership begins at just $2 a month. You get access to behind-the-scenes bonus content, community perks, and my love and affection. So one more time, patreon.com/manwhorepodcast. For just $2 a month, you can feed a hungry whore in Brooklyn. I do not know why I allowed myself to blow my voice out like this. I really should have maintained some self-control. It's not as if I haven't learned this lesson every single ManwhoreCon. And yet here we are. 1:30-ish a.m. Tuesday morning. When I wake up, I hope my voice is fine. I am currently working on this 24 ounce of Corona Extra, hoping that helps lubricate the throat. I'm just going to go ahead and say, let's get to my conversation with Marina Valmont. I want my condoms to be made out of something that sounds like it's guarded by the Wakandans, and criminals all over the world are trying to steal it because they can make really intricate weapons with it. But those that guard the material want to make sure that it is used for good sex. And that's why my sponsor this week is One Flex Condoms. One Flex is the first ever condom made with the wonder material graphene. In a clinical trial, users preferred One Flex condoms 2-to-1 over standard condoms because the only thing better than sex is flex sex, and you can get 20% off. These new age, space age, I think when we all start colonizing Mars, I think we'll all be using graphene to fuck. Get 20% off your order and start feeling the future on your phallus or a phallus that is important to you. Go to onecondoms.com/manwhore and use the promo code manwhore to enjoy your special discount. One more time, use code manwhore at onecondoms.com/manwhore, or you can click the link in the schnotes. And we thank OneFlex for sponsoring the podcast. The Manwhore Podcast is sponsored by Beducated.com, the masterclass platform for all things sex ed. It's the Netflix for sex skill instruction. It's the Hulu of, no one wants to be the Hulu of anything. Look, Beducated, I've been talking about them for years. I've learned some very valuable sexual skills because of their courses. And they're adding new courses every month from the world's leading sex educators. One of my favorite things about Beducated is that their video courses. Video courses. Reading, who does that anymore? Many of their video courses demonstrate the real thing on real people and real bodies. It's not just all diagrams and pussy puppets. And you can change the way you date and relate and bang for 50% off an annual membership. It's crazy. It's wild. Very soon into it, you're going to feel guilty that Beducated did not get 100% of this. You can get 50% off an annual membership for full access to their entire library when you click the link in the schnotes of this episode. Okay, again, you click the link in the schnotes of this episode. Well, let me be honest with you. If you're listening to an old episode, the link may not be in the schnotes, but you can still use promo code manwhore at Beducated.com. You get 50% off the annual pass. You get to try out the website for 1 day completely free, and they have a 14-day money-back guarantee. So one more time, Beducated.com. That's B, it's E, it's D. You-cated, but like with a C. Did I make that more complicated than it needed to be? Look, it's educated with a B in the front because they're going to teach you how to put stuff in the B in the back. Promo code manwhore at Beducated.com or click the link in the schnotes. Beducated. Somehow making learning sexy.
My mom wouldn't put me in them, so I waited till I was 18, 19. I put myself in Miss Universe Canada, and it was such an eye-opening experience. Like the competitiveness of women, the importance of hairstyles on stage and composure and the color of your dress.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that is mind-blowingly important.
Did you get surprised by anything? Like, is there a color no one does that?
They said no one should pick a black dress. So, of course, I picked a black and nude dress. And looking back at it, I was like, oh, that was a horrible mistake. I should have listened.
It was?
Yeah, they want beautiful, vibrant colors like pinks and greens and yellows.
Did you have to have like a special talent?
Luckily, no. But it would have been too sexual. I can belly dance, so I would have seduced the judges.
You don't have any other talents? You don't have you can't juggle?
Recently, I was in a talent show in Estonia for an event Naked News was holding.
Sure, why not?
And my talent was picking up change. I had a little Ziploc bag of change, and I'm like, my comedy, my sense of my skill is humor. So I have this change, and I'm going to pick it up in the sexiest way possible.
Oh, and how'd you do?
I didn't win, but I definitely was a contender. I made people smile.
It's interesting, I put myself into stuff. My mom wouldn't let me. I feel like we hear all these horror stories where like the mom's forcing the kid in. The kid can't rebel against it fast enough when they turn of age. But for you, it's the opposite. What made you want to get into beauty pageants?
I don't know. There's just something about how beautiful and the tension like people got when they're on camera and how glamorous they looked. I grew up very poor, so I was like, I want to be part of that life. I want to go to those mansion parties. I want to ride in those cars. I want to sip champagne.
Do you remember how old you were when you first were like, I want that?
Puberty, 14. Yeah.
And mom was like, no. I mean, was it maybe just a financial thing? Like, we can't afford to put you in this.
I wanted dance lessons, and she did save up enough money to put me in taekwondo, which isn't what I wanted.
I also did taekwondo.
Did you really?
Oh yeah, the only thing I would do for breaking the board was the head, because I always thought the headbutt was the coolest one. So like every competition, every belt test was just, and here's Billy with the head thing again. And when it didn't break, fuck did that hurt.
Oh my God, I can imagine. I was a kicker.
You were a kicker.
Axe kick.
You like the axe kick? Wait, that was the one where you go up and down?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're breaking with the heel?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was my favorite.
Okay.
And I also used a long staff.
But then, why? That's a special skill. You didn't want to bust that out in the competition?
I ended up rebelling about it because I didn't want it at all. I didn't want to do taekwondo. I got to be a brown belt and I was doing competitions. But my mom's reasoning was like, I'm like, Mom, why don't you put me in dance? And she's like, well, are you gonna pirouette out of a fight? And I'm like, why am I getting in fights?
Yeah. And like, also, we're not going to use this in a fight either.
No.
You want to teach me how to like get out of a fight in like a trailer park brawl? Like hook me up with like an older kid and pay them to teach me how to scrap.
Exactly.
That's what we actually use.
I learned a lot of self-defense from YouTube.
Yeah.
Like dirty, underhanded stuff. So I'm prepared.
Okay. Okay. And then how far did you go with the beauty competitions?
I did Miss Universe Canada. I didn't win. Then I started doing bikini pageants. So they would be at like local nightclubs. They'd be at car shows. I did promo modeling as well. I was a Coors Light Snow Bunny, a Bud Light girl. And then from there, I just thought, I was also background in movies as well. But then I just thought, why not try this opportunity? I'd been asked a bunch of times to try Naked News, but I was like,
oh, really?
I don't know if I want to go down the nudity route. No one's seen me naked yet. Just my boyfriends.
Wait, so then who's like, is there scouts at these like Canadian joints? Because Naked, so I should say real quick, we're here with Marina Valmont from Naked News. And wait, Naked News is a very Canadian, entity. So is that like, are there Canadian town scouts going to these beauty pageants recruiting for Naked News?
Yes and no. So the producer saw me at a car show when I did a bikini pageant there, and he approached me. He was dating one of the contestants. He was dating the winner.
Of course.
I didn't win, but I got a lot of attention. But I said no. I'm just like, I can't do it. I don't know. My nudity is going to live online forever. And fast forward to now, and times have changed greatly.
Well, then what made you finally shift and change the mind?
I thought, why be so concerned with what people say? Why put their beliefs above my own? Like, I'm comfortable with it. Why should I care what Joe down the road has to say? He's watching.
Yeah.
He's just as bad as me.
So you agree? You finally go like, okay, let's do the thing. Were you already like, did you already call yourself a nudist back then? Were you already kind of indulging in that? Or?
No. I grew up really conservative, like Catholic background. I went to Catholic school, and nudity, even shaving your pubic hair is bad.
Wait, I missed that part of CCD, I think.
Did you?
Yeah, I didn't. Maybe I didn't get that far. Maybe that's after confirmation.
I was told good girls don't shave and you need hair down there.
Wait, so how do you think your Catholic upbringing has like affected you now? Are you still wearing any of that shame or guilt?
No, I've totally done away with it, but it did a number on me for many years. But I did get over it, and I am a nudist now.
Yeah.
Through Naked News and being exposed to lifestyle events, nudist events, and realizing how amazing it is. And just complete comfort in being free.
What was like the first time you felt like or I guess maybe the first like nudist event proper you went to?
My very first assignment for Naked News on location was in Miami. So that was really eye-opening. It was for an event called CamCon, and we could be topless there, which was amazing. We're around all these cam girls and porn stars, and they're fully dressed.
Yeah.
But I can be topless. So it felt really amazing. Sometimes what makes it feel weird is people's reactions.
Right. Like if you weren't being weird, I won't feel weird.
Yeah, but if you're like staring and like taking pictures and like elbowing your friend about it and be like,
right,
I'll put my clothes back on.
It's like act like you've seen tits before.
Yeah.
Take that 1.5 to 2.5 seconds where you look and then move on.
You're going to see them a lot longer if you don't leer.
Exactly that. And then people go, well, what do you expect men to do? Behave? I don't know. That's
Behave.
what I thought. That's what I thought. But then what was your first like time like, not on camera, like not through Naked News, like your own journey into nudism? Have you gone to like any events?
Yeah, I've gone to some nudist places. One was in Crete. I was traveling during the pandemic and it was so wonderful. Greece was pretty open. So we went to Crete and found a nudist place. And it was just so nice.
That
swim naked. What's that?
Oh, that late. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it's been fairly recent. I'd say in the past 5 years.
Okay. Is the lifestyle stuff also something that's from the more recent or?
I would say yes. Naked News helped open that door too.
How so?
Well, they took me to Hedonism to cover an event, and Hedonism is in Negril, Jamaica. It's a swingers resort / nudist, and it's amazing.
So they sent you down to Hedonism, and then did you start exploring that outside of work?
Right away.
Right away.
I just delved in right there because I've always been bisexual.
Okay.
And I've known since I was really young because the first crush I ever had was on a woman.
Oh.
Yeah. So it was
how old?
I was riding the school bus, so I was really young. I was like, she's so pretty.
Back in the holding hands era of crushing.
Back when I was watching Disney movies, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what was your first time with a woman?
Oh my gosh. I was dating this guy and he hired an escort for us.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. How'd you feel about that when he pitched it?
I was intrigued and excited.
This is pre-hedonism?
This is pre-hedonism. Okay. It was my, maybe 21.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, she came over and I was just so excited. She ate my pussy. And it was such an unreal experience. I didn't expect it to feel like that. It was softer. It was gentler. The curves were gorgeous.
What was that like to be like, okay, we're hiring an escort? Like, were there conversations you two had? Were you asking her questions about, hey, is it okay if this, that, or were you all just diving in?
We kind of just dove in. He wasn't someone I was seeing very seriously. So I think if it had been a more serious boyfriend at that point in time, it would have impacted my feelings and attitude towards it. But these days, I don't care. I think it's good to hire a sex worker.
Sure.
Yeah, I think it should be a legitimate job.
So you go to hedonism and you're just looking for, so what did you find?
Oh, I found all kinds of things. I started hitting on ladies and I was making out with them in the pool. And then I found a partner for the event. So I was hooking up with him. And then we were all doing like group activities and going back to the playroom.
You sound like it's dodgeball. We're doing group activities. Just playing Settlers of Catan. No big deal.
Those are my favorite kind of group activities. Yeah. Board games and then play games.
Yeah. So when you get back to Canada, like are you seeking out lifestyle events? Are you joining swinger sites, stuff like that?
Yeah.
What'd you find?
Well, I know all the swingers places. and communities in Toronto.
Okay.
Yeah, so I go there sometimes.
What any you can like shout out or any? Can you tell
My
us some more about 'em?
favorites are X Club and Oasis.
Okay, what do you like about them?
I like X Club. It's a little further outside the city for me, but it's very classy. They have a nightclub and a bar, and then it segues into the playroom, which is really nice. And it's like a classy upscale. You're gonna dress in like club clothes for it, and I love getting dressed up. There's something about like getting dressed up and getting undressed
Yeah.
that I love.
Yeah, but when I tell people about like trying to come up with an orgy outfit, because like I'm at the point where like if like there's a sex party coming up and there's a theme and I can't think of the outfit, I don't even go.
Oh no, that makes sense though.
Right.
And outfits are so important.
Yeah, at this, especially if I'm going to go as a solo guy, I'm just like, I don't want to, I got to show a little bit of effort. I got to show that I tried. But people go like, what? Why do you need an outfit for the orgy? You're just going to take it off. I'll be like, but that's the hot part.
Yeah.
Is taking off the clothes.
Getting noticed, flirting, talking about your outfit. It starts communication going.
Yeah. It's like, I want to put if I play with someone at a party, I want to put the clothes back on.
Yeah.
So I can feel hot and aroused again when somebody wants to take them off. Like it's the putting on, taking off, putting on, taking off. That's hot. I don't want to just walk around naked. At that point, I'm like, ugh. It's like I think I look hotter with the like skimpy outfit on.
And speaking of that, Oasis is the other club. That's more the nudist kind of place. You can walk around naked or in lingerie, but they also have a pool, which is amazing. A heated pool in the winter in Toronto. It's the dream.
But you can play at Oasis too.
Oh yeah,
but it's just a little bit leans more nudist than like swinger.
I guess so. It's not as upscale.
Okay.
Not as bougie.
People talk a lot of shit about swinger clubs. There's definitely like I think some stigma about like the environment, the culture around swinger clubs. So maybe what are some of your positive or negative experiences at these like swinger clubs?
I've had guys come up to me and be like, "Hey, are you here because you like to get gangbanged?" And I'm just like, "What?
Whatever happened to hi, my name is?
Hi, my name is. Why would you assume that? Like, oh,
even if I was, you're not going to get invited to it. Now.
Yeah, you're not coming now."
Sure.
I have positive experiences. I also have negative ones where I'm having fun and playing with someone, and then another couple will come and just start touching us, and it's like, oh. We didn't even see you come in and now you're touching us. Maybe I would have loved to play with you, but now like I don't even want to play anymore because like you kind of violated me.
Yeah.
So just ask. You can watch respectively. Like, oh, is it okay if I watch is a really nice thing to ask. Because more often than not, I'm going to say, yeah, of course. Just don't come on me.
Yeah.
Or come on me. I don't know.
Yeah, no, there's definitely respect there. So is there not like kind of a... at the door, like there's
no
speech,
maitre
there's no
d'
rules?
that's monitoring this.
Really?
No.
That's wild. I mean, the parties I go to in Bushwick, I mean, there's a party tonight, and it's like there's going to be like multiple guardians with brightly colored wristbands walking around the place.
Wow, I love that.
Yeah. I'm surprised that like a place that has the legal liability of an establishment wouldn't do that.
Yeah, now I'm shocked. I didn't know there were such things as guardians, but that makes sense because sometimes we can get a little too intoxicated. Sometimes we can say no when it's not respected. Like I hate having to say no twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have no recourse if someone's like misbehaving. There's no one you can go to and be like, hey, that guy's being a problem.
No, but I'll take care of them.
Or that chick's being a problem.
I'll just push people away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like you don't want to have to do that. You shouldn't have to do that in the first place.
Yeah, it's true.
That's so unfortunate.
Luckily, I'm 5'9" and strong.
Yeah. I mean, is it only swinger clubs that you're really able to indulge in when in Toronto, or are there other scenes up there?
No, it's mainly swingers clubs.
Oh, well, I hope maybe something develops like what we got going on in Bushwick. Because
apparently there's a new one coming out.
Oh.
Yeah, it just opened.
What's it called?
I don't know. I don't know.
You haven't got the invite yet.
There's a special invitation waiting somewhere.
Okay. And then what do you enjoy about going to swinger clubs?
I like watching and being watched.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, well, let's start with like what is it that's hot for you about the watching?
I get ideas, and it's live action porn.
Mm-hmm. Do you touch yourself like when you're watching at the club?
I do, and I really enjoy it because it's an interactive experience. Then,
yeah. Are you the type to like watch up close, or are you kind of watching from a distance?
From a distance,
yeah.
I don't want to be one of those like looking in the window, like right up close.
Sure. And what is it that you like about being watched?
Oh, I don't know. I think that goes back to like wanting to be on TV and being in pageants, being watched at my most intimate level.
Whatever I can do to get the attention on me.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, is there like a particularly hot time that you recall, like being watched by somebody?
Oh, at Hedonism. I was having sex with the DJ in the DJ booth at the pool.
Of course.
And then
Why wouldn't you?
We stopped and turned around and everyone cheered.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. There's a nice clap.
Yeah.
I got a desire. I was like sitting on the edge of the pool, and some woman like decided to start blowing me, and so like, and then when I came, like I guess I was particularly loud, and so like 25, 30 people around just started clapping. I was like, I've never, and this is like 3 p.m, I've never gotten a blowjob and then gotten an applause break.
It feels so good.
I'm like, this is the tits. This is great. So that's fun. Okay. Back to Naked News. Why don't you actually tell people what Naked News is?
It's saying the news while naked.
Mm-hmm.
It's perfectly aligned with nudist sensibilities. So it can be sexy and you can get turned on, but we're just trying to tell our stories and read our news headlines.
Mm-hmm. And why?
We just happen to be gorgeous.
Yes, everyone does happen to be pretty gorgeous. But like, why do the news naked?
Why not?
I mean, look, remember, I think I told you, I forget if it was DMs or not, but it's like, I run a naked comedy show in Brooklyn every month. I get the same question. Why do it naked?
Yeah,
So-
for shock value.
Oh, so yeah, you'll say it. It's like, yeah, for shock value.
Yeah. And I think like hasn't all young people pictured someone reading the news just slowly taking off their clothes or had a crush on a newscaster?
I didn't. Did you?
Well, I'm maybe a little more perverse than you.
That's what I know. It's just more like I had more of a crush on like Ricky Lake.
Okay, I remember Ricky Lake.
Ricky Lake had big tits and like wore a lot of cleavage. And if I was homesick from school, I knew grade school, I knew I wanted to watch.
See, I was more of a Jenny Jones kind of girl.
Who's Jenny Jones?
Jenny Jones?
Maybe I don't.
She was a talk show host.
American?
Yeah, she would always do makeover shows
Oh,
and like I used to be bullied, now I'm hot.
If I went, I probably wouldn't have watched the makeover stuff.
She had Rude Jude on the show. Do you remember Rude Jude?
I do not remember Rude Jude.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I mean,
He's
I know
a comedian. He's really funny.
I knew you were like, I want to keep my age ambiguous, but I was like, okay, you have to be at least a couple years older than me. Yeah, I didn't know, but yeah, Ricky Lake, that was my girl. So
Oh, and there was that movie with Nicole Kidman, To Die For.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that? She played a newscaster.
Okay, but you saw that and you were like, I want to see you naked.
Well, it's Nicole Kidman. Yeah.
So yeah, is there, and it's okay if it's not, but like, is there any other value to doing the news naked besides if this is what it takes to get you to listen to the news, this is how we'll do it?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
And it's going to make you smile. We leave out all the stuff about war and politics, the depressing stuff.
Oh, wait, then what news are you reporting?
Business news, international news headlines that are not depressing.
What about depressing business news?
Oh, we like that.
Oh, you like that?
Yeah.
You make someone feel real good about their 401k being fucked. To be like, but are my tits perky? The portfolio's down, but the nipples are up.
Up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gosh, I want there to exist the version that does the more serious stuff, because I'm like, whatever makes these idiots fucking listen to what they need, like whatever makes you eat your vegetables. I didn't realize it was only the positive news. I thought y'all were gonna make people eat vegetables by like showing pussy and be like, look, if this is what works.
Well, we used to do more of that, but now we're more of an infotainment show.
Fair enough.
It's what the people want.
It did more of that when it was on cable.
Yeah.
Because like another thing to note is that Naked News, again, it's naked, it's not censored, it's not blurred, and it was on normal TV.
Yeah.
Right. It wasn't, you didn't have to pay for that channel.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Nope.
Playboy TV, I remember when I was a kid, had some kind of newsy naked thing, I think. But it was on the Playboy channel. You had to pay extra for that.
Yeah.
And we only paid extra for it when my dad moved out, which is, I was like, okay, Mom. Because I always noticed that we had the Playboy channel when he moved out. And every time he moved back in, all of a sudden we didn't have it anymore.
Weird.
Right?
Aw.
Yeah. I think I was like 16 when I started to figure that out.
So was your mom bisexual?
I do not know. I do not know. I'm going to guess no, because that woman is very ADD blurty. And I can't
Okay.
imagine she could keep that secret from me for that.
Oh,
Like, especially with what I do for work, I feel like she'd be so eager to tell me like the morning after.
I bet.
I bet she'd call me like still in bed with her afterwards. Be like, she's in the bathroom, but Billy, I just fucked a woman. I'd be like, Mom,
Hold on.
congrats. Call my sisters. So I don't know, but like I would notice that pattern. But Naked News, it was like on anything like any other cable channel, like an MTV. Like,
Yeah.
it's just there.
Isn't that incredible?
And like parents don't go get outraged over it. It was just there.
No, I don't think they did.
Okay.
It was before my time, and I'd like to know the reason why it's not on cable TV anymore.
Oh, so you weren't on the cable version?
No, because
Okay.
it started in 1999.
Yeah, no, the show's been on for a long time. And now you're online, digital only, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
was
And pay-per-view.
Nakednews.com, if I remember. Right?
That's it. Yeah.
There we go. Yes. Yeah. When people ask like, why do comedy naked? I go like, again, for me, I don't say shock value, but I go, it'll get you to listen.
Yeah.
How many times have you walked through Times Square, someone's like, want to see a comedy show, and you ignored it.
no.
But as soon as I said it was a naked comedy show, you paid double the ticket price to show up.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if that's what gets you in the door, it's kind of like, hey, I tried doing clothed comedy and you didn't show up. So that now we're doing this.
I like that.
But I don't think it does. I think the shock value, at least with the comedy, wears off like after the first 30 seconds.
Would you ever have Naked News come and guest on your comedy nights?
Please?
We used to do Bust for Laughs.
What's Bust for Laughs? I'm
So
afraid
it's like
to ask.
Bust
Okay,
for
cool.
laughs.
That
So
bust.
we do nude comedy.
Oh yeah. No, if you please come on down. Let's collaborate. Let's make this happen.
Okay.
We do it every month in an orgy basement in Bushwick.
Oh, amazing.
When you tell people you do Naked News, do people ever go, wait, but like fully naked? Do they ever give you that?
Yeah.
And you have to be like, well, that's what naked means.
That's what naked means.
You don't wear
no
underwear?
clothes.
No, because then it would be the underwear news show.
Be the panty talk.
Yeah, well, you're just topless. Well, no, but then it would be the top. You get what we're saying? Then it would just be the topless comedy show. It's
Sometimes I wear shoes. Sometimes I don't.
What was it like your very first time filming for Naked News?
I was excited. I
Okay.
wasn't nervous, but I had like all this anxious energy. So I didn't really know what I was walking into, but I was prepared. I had some good answers for their questions. They asked me what my hidden talent was, and I'm double jointed,
Okay.
but in a weird way.
You still negating the taekwondo.
Still negating the
Still being
taekwondo,
like,
yes.
no. My axe kick is incredible, but I won't show you.
No. So I showed a little bit of belly dancing, and I'm double jointed in my elbows.
Okay.
So I can bend them really weird. I'll show you later.
Okay.
That was my talent, but apparently it won hearts.
And that was what? Like, did you say it was 8, 12 years ago? Something like
11
crazy?
years
11
ago.
years ago.
Yeah.
Wild.
Time has gone by so quick.
Any desire to like stop doing Naked News?
No, I'm going to do it for as long as I'm able.
Okay.
Yeah, I really
Okay.
enjoy it.
Yeah. Somebody wanted to know like what you like both best and maybe least about reporting the news naked.
Oh, the best part is the travel.
Okay.
We get to go all over the world. Like we were just in Estonia and Berlin. We've been in Amsterdam, Jamaica, Mexico, all over the U.S. So I love the travel. The thing I like the least, oh man, I like most of my job. So that's a hard one.
Well, it also seems hard because you seem like this bright, positive person who doesn't want to say anything negative. You're like, I don't even want to tell depressing news.
I don't even want to tell depressing news. That's true. I guess, well, there's a few things. The state of the dressing room, sometimes the other ladies are a little messy, and the Virgo in me doesn't like them leaving their tags and clumps of hair places.
Who's
But
who's the messiest news anchor?
she knows who she is.
She. Okay.
I'm not going to shame her and the other cohort on air, but you know I know.
Okay, well, how about this then? Let's see if you're self-flagellating more than you are giving it out. Is there something, if I were to ask the Naked News ladies, like, okay, she's great, she's lovely, she's hot, she's positive, but like, what's one thing you can't fucking stand about Marina?
She can be a bit of a bitch.
How so? How so?
I don't do it deliberately, but I'll just say things that you probably shouldn't.
Yeah?
Like in a very honest way.
Okay. Are you like always this cheery and positive?
I think so.
Yeah.
The two things that keep me happy are breakfast
Mm-hmm.
and a good 7-8 hours sleep. That's all I need.
That's wild. It's good for you because I feel like I come, I come to these like conventions a lot, and like a lot of them are. I asked someone recently who's on the show, and I was like, "So what are you looking forward to this weekend?" She's like, "It being over." And that's very common. But these are like veterans in porn and everything like that. So
I guess so.
Something intriguing to me about you is that you've only kind of recently started doing what we would call porn.
Yeah.
And so maybe some of this is still like bright and new and fresh and exciting.
Maybe. I don't know. I think you're right. I'm actually going to LA right after this trip to film my first scene. I can't give you the details, but I'm really, really excited about it.
Can you tell us what kind of scene it'll be?
It's going to be a girl scene.
Girl scene.
Yes.
Okay. Very good, soft intro into the industry.
I don't know if I'll ever do boy-girl.
Uh-huh.
I just, I don't know if it's for me, but It might be. I didn't think I'd be naked on TV either, so.
I mean, but I mean, did you think you would ever like delve into like kind of the porn world?
Never.
No.
Never. I never thought I would.
So what made you finally dig into that? Was it like Naked News where you got people giving you offers for when you're ready, or were you seeking it out?
I had all these offers of collaborations and fun things that I saw my friends were doing. And I'm like, well, I'm doing it anyway behind closed doors. Why not monetize off it?
Yeah.
It does hurt my feelings when I see fans sharing content, like pirated content, but they'll do that with the show. I could do an Instagram story or something on Snapchat and they'll screenshot it and share it too. It's weird.
Yeah. It's kind of like part of where how the industry operates these days in a weird, sad way, but also in a way that like does bolster a lot of names and people, which
that's true.
It
helps and it hinders.
It's surprising to hear that you're like, oh, I don't know if I do boy girl, because it's like, well, like lady, you swing, right? It's like, so
Yeah.
What is it about doing boy girl on camera that feels uncomfortable versus girl on camera versus all the group sex you may have off camera?
It's just what I'm willing to share and my comfort level. I think it's so beautiful and artistic that the world needs to see this.
Well, what is it about, sex with a man that feels so kind of special or sacred to you?
I don't know. I'd want it to be the right person. I don't think I'd want to be with many porn stars. I think I'd want it to be in a relationship.
Okay.
Yeah. So like I could create content with my boyfriend or my husband.
Right.
And that would be like the only dick I take on camera.
You have an OnlyFans, right? And you've had that for a minute. So what were you doing on there up until this offer to do? So what so I can understand, right? When you're like, you're shooting your first scene, you mean your first like studio scene?
My first studio scene.
But you've been doing some spicier content on like, OnlyFans or behind the paywall.
Yeah, I do
Have you been
solo
doing...
masturbation, girl. I'll do threesomes. Okay. So it'll be like me and a guy, but he'll have sex with that girl. He won't have sex with me.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you're being real nitpick on this. Like, I'm not going to get fucked by a man on camera. Even
I'm waiting for my husband.
Okay. That's so interesting. And how long have you been doing the spicier content?
I would say almost 3 years now.
So
2.5 years.
COVID. 2020, 2021. And what made you funny? That's also when I got my OnlyFans. Which one of us is doing great? What made you finally like turn that corner? Because that's like very different from doing Naked News. Naked News, people can look at you and say you're pornographic, but it's not.
But it's not because it has that name behind it. OnlyFans is pornographic, 100%.
Well, I mean, OnlyFans doesn't have to be, but like what you chose to do on OnlyFans is pornographic.
Yes.
Because like as we talked about for that Mashable piece, like the existence of tits being out is not the pornographic thing. It's what else is happening around with these tits. Or whatever.
It's when the oil, you start rubbing them and moaning. And
that's when it becomes,
that
for prurient interest. And that's why Naked News could be on TV because like y'all weren't like grabbing each other's titties while you said like, and the Dow is down,
Bounce, bounce, bounce.
Right. So what made you finally turn that corner? It's a big step.
I don't know. It was just seeing what my friends were doing and what the shift of the whole world. I was feeling like it was more accepted.
Was it something you had then already wanted to do but were holding back for professional reasons?
Yeah, I was holding back.
Okay.
I don't know. I guess I was in my head and thinking what other people would think, and that kind of thing. But then I'm like, if someone judges me for that, do I want them in my life? No.
So then, wait. So when do you remember wanting to be like, oh gosh, I wish I could do porn?
Always, I guess. Always secretly in the back of my head.
Huh.
Yeah.
There's something about
like Vivid, Jenna Jameson. I read her book and it was just life-changing.
Really?
Her whole experience, yeah. And how smart and businesslike she was.
Mm-hmm. I think that is something that always will surprise people is you know, some of the girls who like come in and out in like 6 months to a couple years, maybe not, but like the stars who like stand some time, who are in this, like this is the biz, y'all have to be really business savvy, right?
Yeah.
You have to be, especially in the current way that the industry is set up. And I think that surprised you how much business sense had to go into this.
Yes and no. I love it. I love the marketing aspect. I love being on social media. I love collaborating with people and like doing reels and TikToks together. I love all that stuff. And I feel like if someone isn't doing that, they're not going to grow in this business.
Sure.
They're not going to last.
But when you're reading Jenna Jameson's book and you're starting to get into things, like was there anything that surprised you about the business side of this?
I guess the money. I thought she would be getting paid more for scenes. I didn't realize most of the money she was making wasn't in the scenes. It was in her business deals.
Yeah.
Like the feature club dancing, merch, her website. The money people make in the industry for a scene isn't that much.
Yeah, especially now.
Well, especially with how much money they make from that scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But, you know, c'est la vie.
But that's all why we also have all these like platforms where we can make our own thing and charge whatever the hell you want for it.
Exactly.
In addition, if you want to debut with the husband one day that may exist, you know, if you want to debut your first anal on an OnlyFans, like that's a thing you can do now and charge extra for,
and you can make a ton of money.
Right? It used to be that the studio would debut and they would make the ton of money on it.
Yeah, they would get your first everything.
Yeah.
But now creators have control, and I love that. That's very, very important.
There's clearly something about like being publicly desired, being publicly hot, that you like. Even going back to the glamour when you're hitting puberty and wanting to be in these pageants. There's something about like what do you think that is? What are you and the therapist talking about? Like, why do I need all these people to think I'm pretty?
I got picked on a lot as a kid.
For what?
For all kinds of things, for being ugly. People told me I was too skinny, I was too tall, I was stupid. Like there's all kinds of reasons. But yeah, it really hurt me. And I grew up poor, so I wasn't dressing nice either.
Were you kind of in a poor neighborhood, or were you kind of like quote unquote like the poor kid at school or something?
I was the poor kid at school. Yeah, like we would always go to the food bank and get secondhand clothes, go to the secondhand stores. Yeah, it was rough. And even like field trips and stuff, they'd be like, oh, if anyone can't afford it and needs help, just stay back after class. And I'd be like, oh, fuck.
No big deal. Everyone's got to see you stay back after class.
Yeah.
That reminds me of my first burlesque show I ever went to, like 10, 12 years ago. And it was Stanley Kubrick themed, which is terrifying.
That's amazing.
Amazing, but like the final act, what they did, like every act did a different movie. So the final act is Clockwork Orange, and yes, it was that scene. So the host, no, it's the rape scene.
Oh, see, I haven't seen it. I only saw the eye-opening scene, and that messed me up. No, I'm too scared.
Oh well, there's a very violent rape scene group. Like they home invade. They tie up they do the ultraviolence. They tie up the husband. They make him watch. It's a very rough scene in the movie to watch.
Yeah.
And so the host goes up and it's like, so before this final act, we just want to give a trigger warning that if you have experienced like sexual violence, there's a chance you may not want to watch sex. You may want to go outside for a smoke. But like, so the stage is like here. We're all here. The door is over next to the stage. So it's kind of like, hi, just stand up in front of everybody, announce yourself, and walk outside if you've been.
Hi, I've been sexually assaulted. I'm gonna go smoke now.
No big deal. Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
So it's like to say like, oh hey, you know, if you can't afford it, just stay after class, and everyone's gonna see. That sucks.
Oh yeah, it was pretty bad, but I'm glad it happened because it made me stronger and made me feel like I had something to prove.
Yeah.
and to really like go after it.
I mean, like, did you have? I mean, like, I imagine like even all the friends, like they can afford the prettier dress, they can afford the prettier sneakers, they can afford the this, and you kind of have to hang with that. And I mean, how do you think that's like? Is there any of that that's held over to today?
I guess when I first started making money, I didn't feel like I deserved nice things, like nice dinners or nice clothes. I'm like, I just have to save this because I don't know when I'm going to have access to money again.
Scarcity mindset, right?
Yeah. And then I realized I can't think that way. I earned this. I deserve it. I'm going to go out to eat and I'm going to order what I want. And I'm going to get that nice handbag I want. I earned it.
Yeah. What do you remember I mean, you know, I know you've done, various different things in your career leading up to get to Naked News. So I don't know if it was when you signed with Naked News or if there's anything before that, but when you first finally had like comfortable money, do you just remember like ever like a moment where you just realized like, I'm going to be all right?
Yeah.
Or like something you bought and you let yourself buy it?
I let myself buy my car.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's not like one of the super high-end cars, but just knowing that I bought it and I own it and I don't have to make car payments on it feels really good.
Oh, you bought it outright?
Yeah.
All cash?
Yeah.
Was this Naked News money or something like, or prior?
I'm Naked News money.
Naked News money.
Yeah.
So that was okay. Good for you. You're like, no, it's all cash. I'm good.
It felt so good and so satisfying to like drive out in it.
Yeah. I mean, and do you feel like that then like lets you feel like you fit in with your co-anchors? But I could just see you go into the studio like the same mentality like first day of grade 9 and like, okay, all the richer girls and all the this, that, and not feeling like you maybe match up.
Yeah, I kind of did with clothing wise.
Okay.
Like I still hadn't come into my own like fashion sense, and like spending money on myself was hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a few years. Yeah, I just didn't think I deserved it because I wasn't used to it. But learning that took time. And I definitely noticed that discrepancy in the beginning at Naked News with wardrobe and like
wardrobe at Naked News. What? Was it just tassels like back there?
No, we had oh my gosh, the hardest thing for me was to find a business suit. I never owned one before, and it was probably the most expensive piece of clothing I've ever bought.
What'd you need a business suit for?
Well, when we do bulletins, it's international news headlines. So we would come in a business suit, and then underneath it is lingerie. So I'll have the jacket and the skirt.
Oh, okay. And would you like slowly strip it off or something?
Yeah, but I'd never owned one before because like I went to some college, but I didn't have an office job.
Okay, yeah. I mean, look, I'm a fucking comedian. Like, I just had 2 weddings for family members. They were like, you need a tux, and like everyone else like owns the tux. I'm the professional poor family member, and so I'm like, I'm rented, but I also like feel like I feel uncomfortable in a tux. I don't like wearing a suit. Everyone says you look amazing in a suit.
I bet
I'm
you do.
uncomfortable in a suit.
Aww.
It feels unnaturally nice. Like
I
go
love
like,
a man in a suit.
I've never gotten more responses on an Instagram like question sticker than like, what is it about the suit? And then like women fucking showed up with answers.
What did they say?
I mean, some of it was like form fitting, where like I guess like, it can be a little more flattering to my form. I've got I'm a little bit thicker of a slice of meat, and some people say it slims that out. Some say it's just like an air of like importance, and it like kind of makes them want to literally drop to their knees, kind of like a status thing. It's a thing I'm uncomfortable with because like. I don't like all the status
You're
shit.
not that guy.
And now it seems like you're very comfortable about it.
Yeah.
You got a very nicely sized hotel. We're on the top floor.
Thank you.
Erica gives me the room number, and I'm in the elevator, and I'm looking for the floor, and it was the top button. I was like, okay, Marina.
You're not the only one that's commented about that on this trip.
Good.
I'm like, yes, I am in the quote unquote penthouse floor.
And are you comfortable with that now?
I'm so comfortable.
Yeah.
I realize I've earned it. It's for me. That's why I'm here.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Anything about, the shooting of porn that, and as we say, content, because until you're in a studio, it's not like porn, it's content. Is there anything that surprised you about when you started doing like partnered content or even like putting your pussy in a more sexual manner on camera? Was there anything that kind of surprised you?
Well, the technical aspects. I edit a lot of my own content because I didn't really trust sending it out to people to edit just now.
Okay.
Because I want to give it that special intimate touch. But I edited it myself. That I didn't realize that would take so long to learn those skills and master them. The lighting. I was lucky to learn from Naked News. They didn't quote unquote teach me,
Yeah.
but I pulled some of their tricks. So lighting wise.
Yeah.
So I learned that. Arranging with people can be difficult, but I try and have conversations with people prior. I like to meet people and know them before working with them.
Interesting.
I don't want to just, Tuesday at 2 p.m., you're going to work with this person. Like, I don't know if there's going to be chemistry.
Yeah.
What if I really don't like them?
Right. So you're not interested. You're not interested in doing porn with people that you don't have even a short-term chemistry with?
Yeah, that's not for me. I want genuine connection and experience. That's what I want to show to my fans.
Yeah.
The fun I'm actually having and enjoying. Maybe you don't think this person's my type, but they are.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
But yeah, so you're realizing people can be flaky in collabs.
People can be flaky, but it comes out through social media and through DMs, just talking to them.
Okay. So like, are you reaching out to people or are people reaching out to you?
Both.
Okay. Well, let's start with how are you reaching out? How are you picking who to reach out to? Are these people you kind of knew or you're just cold DMing?
No, these are people that I've met.
Okay.
So there's some connection there. There's been a little flirtation.
They're Toronto based usually or something like that?
Toronto based, or when I'm traveling to events like this, I'll maybe do one. I know some people do like 8 or 10 collabs. That's, I don't know how they find time to work their booth.
I mean, I think they're scheduling 10 collabs because they know they'll only end up with like 3.
Like 3,
So
that's
everyone's
true.
just going to get too fucked up and they're going to cancel.
Oh my God, never. Like work comes first.
Have you realized you committed like a faux pas in any of these like reaching out when you were starting?
No.
Nothing like, oh shit, I'm sorry, I didn't know I wasn't supposed to say or ask that.
Oh my God, no. But I did a funny collab. You just like reminded me. This girl, she's lovely. We did a cosplay collab. It was Star Wars Day, and I'm a big Star Wars fan. And I don't know how this, like, I didn't see this. So she was Princess Leia, and I was Darth Vader. Yeah.
And but your face is like looking like that was a bad thing. I assume
That's
you were
a father and daughter.
I mean,
It was
like
a
one of the
hot costume, but
like
I
one
was
of
like,
the
oh my gosh.
number 1 search terms on Pornhub. I mean,
Yeah, right. Oh, we did that, and I was just like, oh my gosh.
so it was just like posing stuff, or did you all like do like a scene?
We didn't do a full collab, but there was like touching and sexy posing and like role play and like alluding to things.
Yeah, be like, hey, daughter,
Hey, Leia,
daughter,
looking
I am your
hot.
father, and then it's like, no. He doesn't ever say Luke. He does. It's just I am your father. Oh, you didn't know that?
Whoa!
You didn't know this? That whole line, it's fake. Remember,
Luke, I am your father.
never said.
Oh my God.
It's just I am your father.
I need to watch that again.
I don't mean to like fuck your day up, but
You're gonna have me on Disney Plus watching that movie again.
yeah. And this is something I think a lot of people think, and maybe we're gonna accidentally encourage some fellas. Maybe we'll stop a few from doing things. But what's the best way? And I know this is like still like somewhat newer for you, but like, what's the best way to reach out to you to collab?
Okay, as a content creator or a business?
As another content creator.
Oh,
We're gonna assume like, but first off, if you don't already have the page and your paperwork done, stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it. This isn't my dick's ready. No, it's not. It's not. There's a lot of forms. It hasn't filled out yet.
I appreciate people who get involved.
Okay.
So if I make a post on Instagram, comment on it, like it, on other social media to interact with me. If I go live, talk to me. If I'm at an expo like Exotica, come up to me and say hi. Take a picture with me. Get the relationship going. Mm-hmm. You know, don't just cold DM. Do you want to collab? I'll be like, do you want to do a TikTok? Like
the last person who reached out to you to like initiate a potential collab. Like, how did they? Like, what was the reach out?
Well, I'd been flirting with her because I saw her at X3 and she was judging the cosplay contest, and I was familiar with her YouTube channel, and she was just so beautiful. I'm just like, hey, I'm going to be in LA soon. Would you want to do anything? Oh, actually, I guess I reached out to her. I'm like that kind of alpha personality where I think I initiate a lot of my collabs and situations in life in general.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Well,
I feel like if I'm waiting for people to reach out to me, it might not happen.
But like, you're you.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, it's like you're Marina Valmont from Naked News. Like, of course, people will want to shoot with you.
Yeah.
I think, if anything, it would be like people just don't realize yet maybe that you do that.
Maybe.
You know, it's like because I remember when I was writing the Mashable piece, I had I wanted to I was like trying to clarify, like, because I hadn't seen it, so I was like, is it porn? Is it not? Does she do porn elsewhere? And then like after it came out, I realized like I saw like you had that link. I was like, oh, okay, so she does. You know, so
yeah, it was fun at AVN. At AVN last year, I had 2 badges, talent and media.
Hey,
I had so much fun showing them to people.
I'm gonna do that next AVN.
Yeah, it feels so good.
And what is there anything specific you hope for on the horizon?
Fame, fortune, and glory.
Fame, fortune, and glory by any means necessary.
Well, ethical means.
By any ethical means necessary.
Yes.
In any way that can be done under capitalism. So,
Exactly.
But within the industry, you're excited to do this first studio thing.
Yeah, it's going to be a big deal.
So
when it drops, it's going to be life-changing.
So I assume you can't say the studio.
It's a very big studio.
Can you say who the scene's with?
I don't know. I don't know yet. And I'm filming it on Thursday. I have no idea who it's with.
Oh, wait. Do you don't know who it's with, or you don't know if you can say who it's with?
I don't know who it's with.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
That feels strange. I was ready to land the plane and do plugs, but now I have to first know. Wait, what?
Yeah, I don't
You
know.
agreed cold?
Well, yeah, because it's with a really amazing company, but
And
I
they don't
know.
tell you.
Well, they're like, it could be this girl, but we don't want to say in case it changes.
Okay.
So we're not sure, but you'll know
Interesting.
Wednesday. So I'll know the day before.
Does that make you nervous?
It makes me nervous, but I know they pair people really well. So
Okay.
she's going to be sort of my style, like body wise and like face wise.
What if there's not chemistry? What are you gonna do?
I'm nervous now. Now my palms are sweating.
Great. I finally did my job. This is good.
I think she's going to be so gorgeous. I might have already met her before.
Okay.
I have a feeling. Oh my God, I almost just told you who the company is.
It's all right. I would have beeped. I would have respected that. I don't need Erica mad at me.
I think I might have had the opportunity to have met the performer before.
Okay. But like, let's just say it's someone and you realize there's not chemistry, or if you met them and then do you have any, are you preparing for like that plan B of like, okay, if it's not really clicking, are you just gonna finger and put a smile on your face, or?
My way of thinking is I was crushing on a few girls. I hope it's one of them.
Okay. Well, I hope it is too.
I do. I really do. Now I'm nervous.
I hope your first scene, is the chemistry and hot fun that you want it to be. But in this business, it not always is. I've heard stories of I paired up with this guy, and business wise makes total sense. Not the biggest fan of him as a human, but like we're gonna do that because this followers and these SEO terms means I gotta touch this penis. And,
wow.
but I hope it's everything you want it to be.
Thank you. Me too.
But I am glad I could get your palm sweating just a little bit.
I'm going to give you the wettest mic back.
That's the least sexy version of that sentence, but I'll take it. I'll still take the mic. Marina, thank you so much for chatting with us. Where can people go to find you, follow you, and check out this scene that we hope is a dream for you?
I'm everywhere.
Just blink twice to the camera at some point if you are like, this wasn't for me.
Save me. Please save me.
Just a little signal to your fans to be like, look, it wasn't clicking, but I hope I look hot. Okay, sorry.
Oh my gosh. I'm on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Pornhub at Marina Valmont. And on TikTok, I am Marina Valmont.
But Marina Valmont for all the things, and I am Marina Valmont on TikTok. But and they can still see you at nakednews.com.
Yes, nakednews.com, Marina Valmont, traveling anchor.
Amazing. And we're gonna, I'll say again when we get the mics, we gotta talk naked comedy.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes.
So everybody, keep your eyes open for that. But for now, Marina, I hope you enjoy Exotica, and why don't you go ahead and say goodbye to everybody?
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me on the show. I had a lot of fun. And I hope to do it again soon. Bye, everyone.
The best place to discuss this week's show is in the episode discussion channel in the Champagne Room. You can join over 700 like-minded, sex-positive peoples in our free Discord server when you join up at manwhorepod.com/Discord or click the link in the show notes. You can also share your thoughts, your questions, your criticisms at manwhorepod@gmail.com. And of course, the best way to support the Man Whore Podcast with more than just your downloads but your dollars is on Patreon. Become a member today, support the pod you love, and enjoy a whole bunch of bonus content and rewards at patreon.com/manwhorepodcast or download the Patreon app and you can find me on there. And if for some reason you want to tip me, you want to make my life better, but you don't like the Patreon platform, in the show notes, I've always got my Venmo, my Cash App, my bookshop.org link, my Amazon wish list, a suggestion box for how to make my throat sound better. Don't tell me tea with honey. I know about that one. There's really nothing to do to fix this voice right now. This is really just about discipline and not screaming and yelling at a sporting event the night before I have to do a podcast. This is all my fault. I deserve no sympathy for this. Really, I should be apologizing to you for giving you any sort of subpar content because of my voice. I have but one instrument and I did not take care of it. Some of you would say I have two instruments. I do take care of the other one, but I don't think that one is nearly as valuable as the one you're hearing right now. But like, my OnlyFans link is in the notes if that's the instrument you prefer. Next week, everybody, you're going to hear whether or not my voice got any bit better. I hope you enjoyed my conversation with Marina Valmont, and I hope all of you take the week to stay slutty.